All right, my name is Captain Irving, and you're in F Troop. Now, oh, kitty.
As I said before, everybody gets their own theme tune. Except the Indians. They get a collective one. The souvenir peace pipe has passed the test and will go into production immediately. O'Rourke Enterprises is doing quite well for itself.
Do you want to see the books? We trust you. Ah, good.
Wild Eagle might want to take a vote on that. I see at least one dissenting voice.
We're all in this thing together, 50-50, right down the line. Running Deer, you finally came up with a toy tomahawk.
I might have known Running Deer was smiling way too big. And kids can put the head right back on and keep playing with it. Bound to be a hit. Meanwhile, a tribe in Oklahoma has been making arrowheads for the company, and a shipment is due on the stage today. Better go meet it before someone other than these two opens it. But there's something else on the stage that's likely to be a bit more interesting than arrowheads.
Oh, Sergeant!
Yes, ma'am?
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Miss Lucy Landfield of the Philadelphia Landfield.
Oh, well, I'm Corporal Agarn of the Passaic Agarns. This over here is Sergeant O'Rourke of the Steubenville O'Rourkes.
She says the Philadelphia Landfields as though it's supposed to mean something out here in rough and tumble country. You have to love the insulated elite. She's looking for Captain Parmenter.
Oh, there he is. Wilton! Wilton!
I have a funny feeling he didn't know she was coming. Or that could be natural. It's hard to tell with Captain Parmenter.
Wilton, I've come with good news.
Oh, what good news?
Daddy says his friends in Washington can get you transferred to a post back home in Philadelphia.
Get him transferred to Philadelphia.
What, leave all this?
Oddly enough, he likes it here. In a strange turn of events, he's slowly starting to find himself out here.
Wilton, fighting Indians is no life for an officer and a gentleman.
Well, no problem then. He's an officer, but as naive as he is about so many things, I'm not sure he could tell you how to spell gentleman. And now let's get a good look at the person Lucy is.
Really, Wilton, I don't think we should discuss this with your subordinates. Good day, gentlemen.
That right there should be enough for him to put her back on the stage and tell her to keep going. That attitude will not fly out here on the frontier. But we've seen that Wilton is built almost entirely of recessive genes, so he can't assert himself and explain things to her.
Really, Wilton, I'm not the least interested in seeing this wretched little town.
Oh, but you'll love it here, Lucy. It's nothing at all like Philadelphia.
What's wrong with Philadelphia?
Oh, Philadelphia is a wonderful city, and it's just a shame nobody lives there.
Wilton, I don't find remarks about the birthplace of my family amusing.
Her Highness is not amused. She has no sense of humor, which would have been enough for me to dump her before I ever left Philadelphia.
Now, see right over there, we have a hotel and a bank, and we have a depot, and we have a gunsmith, a trading post, and we have a livery stable, and a barber shop, and a boarding house. And a saloon.
Hello, Charlie. Nice to see you again.
You mean you know that man?
Well, sure I do. Hi, Charlie.
Good evening, Captain. So glad to see you. Well, a saloon. I think I'll have me a little drink.
Every town has to have a drunk, Lucy. It's the law of the West. And the fine print in that law says we don't ask where the town drunk gets his money.
Charlie's the town drunk. We got him from Dodge City.
You had to go out and get a town drunk?
Yeah, we were lucky, too. Dodge City had two, so they sold us Charlie.
Okay, that answers the question we don't ask. Obviously, Charlie got a cut, too.
Wilton, remember how it used to be? You'd come courting every evening.
And you were always out with someone else.
Well, that was just my womanly way of testing your love.
Either that or she was just getting it good and broke in for you before the wedding night.
That's all past. Now that you're an officer and a hero, You have nothing more to prove.
If he had to prove anything to her, then she's definitely the wrong girl for him. That's a universal principle too, guys. If you feel like you have to prove something about yourself before she'll really accept you, run like hail and don't look back. Gal, same for you. If you feel like you have to live up to some ideal for him to love you, guess what? He never will. And he doesn't deserve you. You can do better. See, here's the thing. Love doesn't flow inward. It flows outward. So love doesn't say, you have to be this for me. Love says, I'm willing to be this for you. If you really love each other, you're both saying that. If one of you isn't, your relationship is doomed. Either that or one of you is doomed to be miserable and always feel like a failure. It doesn't have to be that way. Everybody deserves better. You're part of everybody. Therefore, you deserve better. QED. But let's not forget there's another side to the triangle we're building.
Morning, Wilton.
Good morning.
Well, I declare, a real honest-to-goodness cowboy.
Didn't know your mother was coming to visit from the east.
Uh-oh, shots fired. All non-combatants should take shelter.
No, she's not my mother. She's my aunt. I mean, she's my friend. And he's not a cowboy, he's a cowgirl. She's a cowgirl.
I imagine it is difficult to tell them apart.
No. Usually the ones with the funny walk are the cowgirls.
Unfortunately, Wilton is slipping back into some old habits.
Allow me to introduce myself.
Oh, yeah, this is Lucy Landfield.
Of the Philadelphia Landfields.
And this is Wrangler Jane.
Really, Wilton, we must be going.
Yeah. Goodbye, Wrangler.
Okay, Lucy, just put a ring in his nose and tie a rope to it. Easier to lead him around that way. Whatever became of the scourge of Appomattox? Jane already has her pistol out, ready to give Lucy one in the butt. O'Rourke manages to stop her. She can't figure out what's going on with herself.
Whenever I see Wilton, I get a funny feeling in here.
Sort of a burning sensation?
Yeah.
I have that too.
Sometimes I'm just sort of weak all over.
With hot flashes.
Uh-huh. And just now when I saw him with that girl, I got a pain right in the pit of my stomach.
Sarge, we've got the bubonic plague.
Wrong. You can get over the bubonic plague. She's in love, as O'Rourke explains. Most people don't get over that. He says, you've got to get Wilton's attention and remind him that you're right here and you're way better for him than Lucy is. Let the competition begin.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now Wrangler Jane will give us a demonstration of some plain and fancy shooting. You ready, Wrangler?
Ready.
What's going on here?
And now let's have 3 cheers for continuity. Hip, hip.
Wrangler, I didn't know you could shoot like that.
If he didn't know, he hasn't been paying attention. He's watched her in action, and she told him she can shoot the eyelashes off a jackrabbit at 200 feet. I guess he means they haven't been attacked by empty bottles yet.
I'd be glad to teach you.
She's been giving him shooting lessons for 3 episodes. Are we ready to give those cheers for continuity yet? Hip, hip! Psst, your line is hooray!
Why, I've never seen shooting like that. Lucy, did you see? Lucy!
Shame on you, Jane. That bottle was her friend. Once Lucy is on her feet again, Jane continues.
Hey, there you go. That's the way, Wrangler. That's the way, baby girl. That's the girl. Let her go now, forward. Hey, that's the way.
Wilton is impressed. Lucy is nervous.
I didn't know you could do that.
Lots of things you don't know about me, Wilton.
Well, would you teach me?
Sure. Just grab hold of this rope and just keep twirling.
Hey.
Lucy is one of those not-so-rare people who is so insecure that if Wilton is paying attention to any other woman, even if it's his mother, she's afraid she's going to lose him. If his attention isn't on her all the time, she can't handle it.
By golly, I'm a cowboy. Hey, Lucy, look, Lucy, let's have some air.
If that was a real feint, I'll sit on the tip of her parasol. But Wilton is convinced, and that's what matters. She has his attention again.
Let me take you back to the fort, dear.
Oh, no, I wouldn't want you to miss that cowgirls exhibition.
You sure you'll be all right, Lucy?
Oh, yes.
I think that backfired. Usually when someone uses that tone of voice, they're trying to guilt you. The captain missed that part.
She's just fainting to get attention.
Yeah, well, she's doing a pretty good job of it, too.
Well, she ain't gonna get away with it.
That's what are you gonna do now?
I'm gonna get Pecos at a full gallop and then do a double somersault.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Your attention, please. Wrangler Jane will now perform a double somersault while riding her horse at a full gallop and at the same time shooting the buckle off of Corporal Agarn's belt.
Did Agarn agree to this?
Wow. Did you hear that, Lucy? She's going to... Corporal Agarn.
Never mind, I think I know the answer. Yeah, the belt buckle is a little too close to the happy place for comfort, even when it's Wrangler Jane doing the shooting. As quick as he's up, Lucy starts inviting everyone to tea on Saturday, including Jane.
Wilton and I are announcing our engagement.
Did you hear that, Sarge? Sarge! Sarge!
Lucy said she had the vapors. It seems to be going around. O'Rourke, Agarn, and Jane are at the Cowie camp trying to come up with ideas to break up Parmenter and Lucy. One thing they all agree on, Jane needs to look more feminine. Her usual garb is fine for the trail and the trading post, but for tea she needs the prettiest dress they can get. If that doesn't get Wilton's attention, he doesn't have any to get.
You not plan to get dressed for Wrangler?
Fine, fine. But must have plan to go with it.
Oh.
Flying Sparrow. You got in it?
I think I see where this is going. I believe I've said multiple times that this show has almost no padding. We get a little bit here, at least it feels like it, but see for yourself.
Oh, Neil, help!
It kind of feels like padding, doesn't it? Until you realize what's in the package. That's Jane's dress. Wild Eagle had to special order it by smoke signal, and the stage is going balls to the wall to get it to her on time. So this isn't really padding at all. They're showing us instead of telling us, which is what a visual medium is supposed to do. Outstanding.
Sergeant O'Rourke, Corporal Agarn, it's so nice to see you. I'm so glad you could come.
We wouldn't have missed it for the world, ma'am.
You remember Wrangler Jane? Wrangler?
If you were to ask him right now about Lucy, he'd say, Lucy who? He's completely smitten and Jane has his undivided attention.
If I were you, I'd start to faint.
No, she has a better idea.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to say that I have accepted Captain Wilton Parmenter's hand in marriage.
If Wild Eagle puts his workers to making teacups, he'll make a nice profit in the near future.
When did I ask for your hand?
Just before you went into the army, dear. And I promised to wait for you forever. You remember, don't you?
No, I don't.
That probably means it didn't happen, although there are other possibilities. When I was in the Army, I knew a guy who went out on a date one night, got blind drunk, and woke up engaged. Sometime later, they went out, he got blind drunk, and woke up married. Captain Parmenter doesn't strike me as a drinker, but if he got blitzed and asked this woman to marry him, maybe that's why he doesn't drink now.
Perhaps the captain doesn't want you to wait anymore.
Really, Miss Wrangler, this is none of your affair.
Well, Captain, are you going to marry her?
I told you to stay out of this, you saddle-sore little hussy.
Do you want to step outside and settle this man to man?
No, please, ladies.
Only one of us is a lady.
She's right, but she's wrong about which one is the lady. We just saw her true colors. While that's going on, Roaring Chicken has a message for O'Rourke and Agarn. O'Rourke says, it's time for us to go, Wrangler.
Congratulations, Captain. You've got a wonderful girl there.
No, just a minute, Jane. Don't leave, please. You haven't finished your tea yet.
Do you really want me to stay, Wilton?
If that doesn't tell him who Lucy really is, nothing will. He's still trying to get everybody to sit down and have some tea.
Me thinkum you've come wrong, teepee.
Oh, no. This is the house I'm looking for.
For whom are you looking?
My husband.
Well, I don't think you'll find him here.
Oh, yes. There he is. Captain Parmenter.
Though there may not be enough cups for everybody.
I'm sure you two are responsible for dragging him down to your level.
Now, just a moment. You're talking about my men.
Wilton, I'll never forgive you for this. You've made a fool of me.
He didn't have to. She did it all by herself when she lost her cool with Jane. I wonder what the Philadelphia Landfields will think of that. Well, maybe now he can smooth things over with Jane.
Jane, now that the party's breaking up, why don't you and I take a walk so I can explain?
I don't take walks with married men.
Or not. She's been around him the whole time he's been here. I wonder when she thinks he got married without her hearing about it.
Come, Mrs. Parmenter. You and I will take a walk so I can explain.
Maybe he'd do better to take that walk with O'Rourke and Agarn. I'm pretty sure they don't hit so hard.
If you're enjoying this, be sure to click the thumbs up button to show you like it. If you're not subscribed yet, punch me in the face right here and get it done. And don't forget that you can become a patron and help keep this kitty fed. The link is below. Until next time.